funny.
Yeah. And so one thing that I guess I'm sure comes up all the time. You are married to a professional baseball player, right? And Aaron Sanchez. And so obviously you guys also have babies, right?
Yeah.
2 children.
2.
And could you just talk about, I guess, your history? Like how did you get into your career? How did you end up with Aaron? Like how, like, I don't know, just that.
How to hit it off. All right, yeah, no problem. So I met Aaron at the beginning of 2016, and he told me he was a baseball player. Eventually, it didn't come out in the first couple dates, actually, which I can totally understand now because people treat you differently when you are in certain status, and that's how he explained it to me. And now that I've been around for almost 8 years, I do see it, especially with like athletes and even people with success for some reason. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yes.
And then I moved to America, and I didn't have a social security.
So where did you come from?
Oh, sorry. I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Nice. Canadian.
And I moved here, and my family has a background in real estate back home.
Oh.
Yeah. And then growing up, my dad was like, "You would make such a successful realtor." And I was like, "I don't want to be you, Dad."
Oh, because he is.
Yeah. Well, you just, I feel like that's the typical like child, like to parent thing. I don't want, like, unless it's like super cool, but yeah. And then, but then as I grew up, I started to see like I do carry the skills that what would make a good realtor, like interpersonal, me seeing people's like blind spots, trying to narrow it down for them. So then when I moved here, I thought, how can I create my own identity? Like being a mother is a whole new identity,
Right?
And it's very easy to get lost in it. And I was starting to get lost in it just because my husband, like baseball players, are gone for I think 8 to 9 months of the year almost.
Wow.
And so just that daily routine, this daily struggle, and I wanted to give my brain some sort of food for thought, other stuff to think about.
So how soon after you moved here to the U.S. did you start embarking on that business
journey?
venture?
So I had to wait till I can get a social security. I had to apply for a green card. That took about 1.5 years. So I would say like 2 years after.
Oh, wow. That's pretty immediate.
Wow.
Starting it, then the studying, and then getting the exam. But yeah, just I'd say 2 to 3 years.
And you didn't do real estate in Canada?
I didn't. No, I didn't do real estate in Canada. I moved here when I was 21. So I was a baby myself.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was still finding myself back home. I was in college. I worked at the bank, and then on weekends, I would bartend to make extra cash.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
And now you're super successful.
Yeah, we're doing our best. I mean, everything's always like learning opportunity and growing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
And so where did you and Aaron meet?
We met at a lounge, and funny
What
enough,
does a lounge mean? I'm sorry, that's kind of like very broad.
So it's like dinner, and then once like 9-10 o'clock hits, kind of turns into dancing and music.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, we met at a lounge, and funny enough, like my husband, he doesn't drink any alcohol at all, just doesn't like the taste, thinks it's like absolutely gross, not worth the hangover. And in Toronto, there's a very big...
I love that, by the way. Neither do we.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a very big club scene and like a lot of lounges and great restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 times I saw him out unexpectedly, one was they were celebrating a teammate's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was important for him to go. And then the second time they were celebrating Josh Donaldson's MVP award. It's like the most valuable player. It's a very huge accomplishment.
Oh.
And so he actually, other than that, never goes out. And those were the 2 nights I bumped into him.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
and then another crazy thing about this is I've only been to 1 Blue Jay game in my life before I met him. That was the team he was playing for.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, when did you go?" And I said, "I actually have a picture of it on my Instagram. Let me look at the date. I went with my brother and my family."
Mm-hmm.
That happened to be his debut.
What?
Yeah, that was crazy. He's like,
Wow.
I pitched that game. And we came as Boston fans. That was who he was pitching against because my family, they're Boston fans for some reason. I don't know. But I was cheering against him just that day. Ever since I met him, it's go Aaron.
But who won?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. What? Oh my god. I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure he won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you don't remember because you don't want to remember.
No, I
No.
know. I'm sure he won.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.